Okay, so what kind of situation do we have at the moment from a Euro PLN perspective? Now, if you remember the last time that we spoke about this pair, from here we wanted to see the market make a nice move to the downside. Why? Because clearly the market it was overextended at this zone. It had also created this overextended W formation, and we definitely wanted to see the market give us a retracement at least to the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement taken on the impulse, because as you know, if you want informations on a retracement in the market, you have to take your Fibonacci on the impulse. So taking the Fibonacci on the impulse, we get a 0.382 Fibonacci retracement that is exactly here. And as you can see, the market smashed our target to the downside. In fact, as you know, we were also riding a nice short position with students on this pair for a nice 1 to 3.5 a risk to reward to the downside on it. So definitely a good risk to reward banked here on Euro PLN, but let's see how we can be looking for the possible capitalizing opportunities on this pair. So let's see what kind of situation we have at the moment. Now, from a weekly perspective, as we said, we have the impulse, we have the correction. Now, the correction basically what the correction created is also this M formation. Now, in such a bullish market, if the market retraces with an M formation, it's just a matter of time before the market is supposed to usually go and retest the neckline of the M formation. So first of all, we will be looking for possible longing opportunities. Now, let's bring back again our Fibonacci level 1 second. What we can clearly see is that we should definitely see the market drop lower to this zone here, so the 50% retracement, before try to complete the M formation. But anyway, our job in the market, as usual, is to be reactive, not predictive. We can't know when the market will shift to the upside, but what we can do is be monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries and anyway show us that it's clearly shifting from a bearish market to a bullish market. So with students, the way in which we will be approaching Euro PLN is very simple. We will be monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective inside of this area, waiting for the market to shift from a bearish market to a bullish market, and as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be looking for a nice long position with a good risk to reward and good probabilities for the completion of the pattern that we have from the weekly and the daily for a nice retracement. If we go and see what kind of situation we have from a COT perspective, so commitment of traders, what hedge funds are doing in the market, let's go and get our euro data and what kind of situation we can see. We can see that overall with the last reports, hedge funds have added, obviously, yes, more shorts on the euro, but if you look at the long term, we can see that from a hedge fund perspective, they have been adding a lot of longs. In fact, we went from minus 114k net positions all the way up to 72k net positions, meaning that we went from having shorts outweighing longs to having longs outweighing shorts. So we can still expect a move to the upside, considering that in the long term, we still have a strong euro. So going back to the chart, this is exactly how we will be approaching Euro PLN. And then after the retracement, again, what we will be doing, we know that at the completion zone of the M formation, we have previous support that will be then term resistance, and again we will be monitoring price action inside of this area, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries for the completion of this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the downside. We will have, as we said, the confluence of the previous support, term resistance, and the confluence of the weekly neckline, and we will also be taking our Fibonacci from the high to the low of the impulse with a nice confluence of a 50% or even better 0.618 exactly inside of this area. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, and I will see you in the next video.